Hey everyone, this is Jennifer Lee Chan from NBC Sports Bay Area. And first of all, I want to apologize for inaccurate story that I wrote and posted to NBC Sports Bay Area on Monday about Brandon Aiyuk recently eliminating all 49ers material ID from his Instagram profile. That was inaccurate. It has been like that for months, and I thought it was new. And so I do apologize for my inaccurate reporting on that. So my goal is always to bring you honest and accurate information. And so that is my goal always. So I do apologize for having an inaccurate report that it was recent. He actually had scrubbed his 49ers pictures, photos, everything months ago. So it was not a new thing, and I thought it was. But we still have not seen him on the field. Kyle Shanahan said that the target is about week 10. And so he's still been rehabbing. John Lynch has seen him on the field, but he has not been out there on the field in front of media since the Tuesday before the Thursday night game. So the Tuesday night, when they had the practice under the lights inside Levi Stadium, that was the last time he was out running with the wide receivers. But we have not seen him since, but I do understand that he is rehabbing, and the goal is week 10, according to Kyle Shanahan. They still do not have a timeline at all, though. No timeline at all. It is the year anniversary of his devastating knee injury. And week 7 last year, after, you know, and it was just ACL, MCL, cartilage damage, horrific injury. And I also, for one, want to say that the game is better when guys like Brandon Aiyuk are playing, and absolutely hope he comes back and plays and proves everybody that he still can do everything that he's done in the past. So I just want to apologize to you guys and to Brandon Aiyuk and his party. My timeline of events was off. So onward and upward. So as far as wide receivers go, the 49ers are still down Ricky Pearsall. Kyle Shanahan said it's not any setbacks or anything like that. It is just, they thought it was going to go a little bit faster. This is what Kyle Shanahan said. Hoped it would go faster, but that's a thing that's normal. It's just not going faster than expected, but he's better this week than last week, and hopefully it continues. That's a good thing. But they had a lot of guys sitting out of practice today. Yetur Gross-Matos with the knee and the hamstring. It's still the hamstring, and that is the worst injury. Again, Ricky Pearsall out. Sky Moore was out with his ankle, but we did see him running on the side field. So I do think that he has a chance to play on Sunday. And then, of course, Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey with vet days today. Limited. Jordan Watkins. So that's a step forward for him. Jordan Watkins limited with his calf injury. Brock Purdy was out there, toe injury. He was taking reps, but Mac Jones is less limited than Brock Purdy is. So I would think that indicates that Mac Jones is going to start on Sunday night against the Atlanta Falcons. Mac Jones also limited, knee oblique. Dominic Pooney, knee limited, and that could be a reason why he hasn't been playing as well as he did in his rookie year. I have a feeling it is. That hyperextension of his knee in the preseason really set him back. And so not getting those full reps and being healthy, I think, has affected him a lot. Kevin Givens, his practice window open still, limited with the pectoral injury. They could choose to activate him before this Sunday. They're going to see how this week goes. Juwan Jennings, still limited. We did see him out there. Ankle injury, 5 rib injury, shoulder, his ankle. He's got a high ankle sprain and a low ankle sprain, but he was out there doing individual drills. Renardo Green, neck injury, he was limited. CJ West with his thumb limited, and George Kittle, hamstring limited. We did see him out there with his tight ends. Kalia Davis, hand limited, and that is the laundry list of injuries as of right now. Today we spoke to George Kittle did not talk. I think he's just, focusing on getting back. And there is a potential that we'll talk to him at some point this week, but I kind of think it depends on how this week goes. So it was his first day back at practice. He was out there with his tight ends and, out there with the offensive line blocking, If he can play on Sunday, I think it changes so much about the run game. Christian McCaffrey has had zero point 0.7 yards of distance between when he gets the ball and when he's touched by a defender. So he needs a little bit more space than that. He's averaging 3.2 yards per carry, which is not what we've seen from him in the past. And I think a lot of that can change with the healthy George Kittle. I'm not saying it's going to change immediately once George Kittle is out there, but I think what Kittle can do, what George can do is draw defenders over to his side, and it doesn't leave the box completely stacked, stuffing the run where Christian McCaffrey is concerned. So I think that's part of what can help open the run game. Kendrick Bourne is out there. He's healthy. And outside of that, I think the offense is pretty much what we've seen from them in the past. I do think, again, Mac Jones is going to start over Brock Purdy. On the defensive side of the ball, Tatum Bethune spoke today and he said, I've always been a leader. This is what I have always wanted. He's always been the guy who has had the green dot through college. And sorry, a little carpet cleaning going on here in the lounge. So he's ready for the challenge. And he said Fred Warner has his back. And I think that says a lot. It was, from what I saw in the locker room, we've seen guys go down with significant injuries before. There was a weight to the locker room on Sunday in Tampa, but there was also kind of a positive mood because of Fred Warner and what he said to the team and how positive he was about his journey and what's going to happen, and that, there's a path for him and there's a reason. So today in the locker room, yes, they are extremely bummed that Fred Warner is not there, but the fact that he was so positive about them fighting and continuing on and carrying the torch, that I think these guys are energized. It's going to be a huge challenge for them to go on without Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, but to the way Fred Warner's leadership continues on without him even being in the room, I think says a lot about him and maybe forecasts that the defense will be okay without him. It's going to be tough. And yes, maybe they do trade for somebody. I don't think they trade for a linebacker. I asked Kyle Shanahan about Nick Martin. Is this a chance where he gets some reps? And it is. So maybe Nick Martin, finds a way to get in. It's Tatum Bethune and D Winters right now, Luke Gifford as well. But I think, that's something that could be an added bonus. A guy who gets a little bit more of a chance. Let's see what else. Kyle Shanahan mostly talked about the offense, but let me see. Here it is. This is what he said about Tatum Bethune. He's like, I thought Tatum did a real good job. Had a couple of mistakes, which were understandable, kind of what I was saying on Monday. But there were a lot of clips that I was telling everyone when I get on the plane and I start watching the tape and turn it off. It's a little depressing for me how the game went. And I think thinking about Fred, and then I stopped and rewatched it in a different way, from a different light. And it was very inspiring to watch how Tatum played. A bunch of our young guys, there are some good things on that tape. Got to clean up some mistakes that we made, but I like how the film looked and how the guys played. So again, Tatum will wear the green dot. D Winters will play next to him. And so, yeah, they've got to continue on without Fred Warner, and it's a big challenge. And that's kind of where they're at. As far as health wise of the offense, I think George is a huge bonus. Kyle Shanahan said just having another blocker always helps. I thought the other tight ends blocked well, though. Just having back in the pass game, though, I think is huge. Having an explosive athlete out there who can run away from people, but both just having him on the field on every offensive play helps. So if George Kittle can be healthy enough, he said it was a really bad hamstring tear. And so, some are worse than others. And they hope that he'll be ready to go on Sunday. One thing I do want to bring up, is Sky Moore fielding punts at the 2 yard line. And Kyle Shanahan was pretty funny. Um, he said, that's a no, a big no. So we're still working on that. So yeah, got to work on the fielding punts right at the goal line because it backs the offense up all the way to the goal line, which is not good. So that, and then also on special teams, Isaac Rendo was taken off kick return. Brian Robinson was doing it. Kyle Shanahan just said wanted to give Brian Robinson a chance. Not a really bad for Isaac Rendo, but they're gonna keep going with it and see how it goes. Finally, for special teams, Eddy Piñeiro. Um, we spoke to him today, and he's such a positive guy for someone who has been great for the 49ers. He said he loves how this team has accepted him and, as a brother. And he told us a little about his family, and he bought his parents a house just down the street from him because he wanted to repay them for everything that they did for him. His dad was a soccer player. They were at the game on Sunday, and I got to meet them. And he said that's the first game that his dad has been able to go to because he's not able to fly. His dad had a heart attack in the last couple months and a couple months ago, and he's has not been cleared to fly yet. It's not good for the altitude. So they got to see him, and it was really nice for him to see his family because he hadn't seen them in a month, and they usually talk every day. They see each other a lot. They live down the street from each other. So um, I'll be writing a story on Eddy Piñeiro, which will be a lot of fun. He's going to send me some family pictures. So we'll have that up for you guys soon. All right, everybody. Hope you all are well, and thanks for hanging in with me. Please subscribe, please like, and I appreciate all your comments as always. So I hope you all are well, and I'll be back soon with more commentary and video on the week heading into Sunday Night Football with the Atlanta Falcons.